Alrighty, so want to give a little bit of an update here. This is not major. I will be doing some updates, but it probably won't be as frequent. I'm just really excited about what I'm doing here, and it looks like it's gonna. I think this thing's gonna be great. Obviously, because I created it. But anyways, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be helpful. And overall, I'm learning a lot, which I'm really excited about more than anything else. So we have our login page. I don't think I'll do any third-party logins. I'll probably roll my own authentication. I was looking at some other services to do authentication. So authentication, authorization, and making sure that I control features, teams, and all types of other stuff. But we'll see how that all works. If anything, I will be using something like Clerk, but I worry about kind of just the buy-in or being stuck with a certain provider. Anyways, continuing on. So press continue. So right now, authentication has not been implemented. I've been working on mainly all the UI elements. So little things like this, seeing the announcement bar, that was already there. So I'll customize this a little bit more. This section here I have customized, so you can go, these are just shortcuts from the home page, especially on mobile. This is really nice to where you can move down, up, and everything else like that, and go and jump to different things that are probably some of the most important stuff. So sending new messages, adding new measurements, new journal entries, and new pairings. New pairings you may not do as often, but it might be something that might be something I take out or change later on. And then, of course, to home here, we have I added branding for Breeders Tool. So I got that in there. The code is quite a mess on the back end. I'm just doing all of, again, the UI elements and getting things where I want them to. And then I'll start refactoring it, putting things in their own files and folders, and making it a lot cleaner and easier to work with. That's a nerdy thing, mostly on the back end. So nothing for most people on the front end. So here I have quite a few options. If I click on cost here, journal, guide, all these are disabled at the moment. These will be enabled as I add these features, and I'm focusing mainly on the home dashboard, the settings. So here we can save changes. All right. Upgrade services will open up to the website. We can change our themes. Let's change the dark mode real quick. One thing I've noticed, especially with Nux and Vue.js, is how it handles dark mode. So if I scroll up a little bit, or if I say save changes, you'll see certain elements will start to turn into dark mode. So that's something that I don't know how to fix at the moment, but we'll get it right eventually. It's a little bit of a user experience thing that I do want to focus on. It seems like it's something that should be pretty easy to fix, or should not really happen at all. But that's the nature of JavaScript. All right, so if I just go back to here, working on buttons such as changing your password, and I will fill out this modal here. Sorry for that noise. Fill out this modal here over time, adding the field so you can change your password. So we'll just cancel out of that. But even if we just went and saved changes, your password has been successfully changed. Upgrading services, that'll be a link outside of the app. And then delete account, same thing with the modal here. It'll wait for about 2 seconds, and then it'll go ahead and delete your account. But that'll be a lot quicker once I get everything fine-tuned. All right, so if I go back to, there's a documentation page button. So it just leads to a blank page for pairings. Working on this would probably be the first part. This would be the entry point. So usually it's going to start from mom and dad, your dame and your sire. So if you wanted to add a new pairing, you can go here. It'll be filled out. And then, of course, this is where you control your litters. So how many puppies you have, their identification information, and things like that. From that point on, again, all this stuff should be pretty much a pipeline. So you go from your pairings, your litter, the health of those litters, the cost of that litter. So how much you're paying for bedding, how much you're paying for food, how much you're paying for anything else. And then journal entries, and then whelping, doing anything in terms of like what you have to do for whelping. For instance, guides that you need, blueprints for how to build a whelping pen, different ways you can do it, ways that I've done it, purchase lists, And then, of course, sales. So customer relations management. So that'll be where you keep your customers, you keep track of customers. Hey, this customer I met on TikTok. Hey, this customer, I got information from them or got information from them while on the street, or they saw one of my street signs and they called me directly. Documents, any documents that you have to generate, such as or vet records, XYZ. And then, of course, transport. Trying to schedule transport, get transport going, information about transport, the best way to deal with transport, so on and so forth. So there'll be some information there. All right, so if we click here on the actual user avatar and this footer here, we can see where we can get to settings. This is another quick menu, but we also have the command menu. In this command menu, it'll show things such as like all of the different links, and it'll be a quicker link or a way of getting to it. If you're on a computer, you can actually press command key and then different combinations. So for instance, command K will bring up this menu. And then for pairings, since it's under breeding, it'll be BP. If it's, say, guide or something like that, which is under whelping, it'll be WG. So I try to make it simple in that regard and also make it nicer. But what you're seeing here is there are some that are white in color, and then some are grayed out, meaning they're disabled. And that is, of course, by design. I can always search if I needed to. So if I wanted to find guides or something like this list gets pretty long with a lot more features and things like that. You'll be able to search for the specific feature that you need. So let's go to pairings. All right. And then we can go back out, and then we can go to health. One thing in health is once you've done your pairing, you've added a pairing, your dam and your sire, and then you go ahead and start putting a litter for that pairing. Now that litter should be listed here. So the litter could be any identifier, or in this case, the date that they were born. My first litter ever was born September 1st, 2024. Went through, it really was like August 31st and into September 1st, but I always just say September 1st because it was like 24 hours and oh my goodness, it was 13 puppies. It was crazy. And sadly, 3 of them were stillborn. So it is what it is on that. As far as this, so here you have an overview of your litters. So this will be any information such as maybe suggestions, information, journal entries, just a brief overview of what you would expect or what you would like to see first about your litter. Say you have someone else entering data for you. Cool, no problem. Then you can come here from your phone and be like, oh, okay, this is what's going on with the litter and things like that, especially if you start to establish teams and other groups. Then, of course, you'll have itinerary. This will be much like you would see with Google Calendar or even Apple Calendar, is that you can look in here and then see all the dates for vaccinations or any other important dates, such as maybe at the 8-week mark or when you should start marketing. There'll be a lot that we'll add over here, but this will really be geared towards new breeders that haven't bred before or not sure about breeding and need some type of help. Measurements. So this should be all types of measurements. For instance, if you have a dog, if you want to see if the dog's going to be a larger head size or a larger dog out of your litter, you might want to measure the distance between their eyes. Right. And that's a decent indicator of the head size of that dog or the eventual head size of that dog. And that could be a selling point as well. Vaccinations, dewormings. So all of these, you can just imagine what will be filled there. It'll be like, okay, for instance, deworming. What did you use? Fenbendazole to handle Giardia or anything else like that? Or did you use some, I think it's like the Pomentate for pinworms or something like that? Or did you use some other brand? Okay, great. When did you administer that to your puppy or animal? How many times you did it? What was the cycle, so on and so forth. And then eventually, when you go down into the sales and documents, you should be able to print out all of this information, and the person that is getting this animal will see all of that. This is also good for when you want to, you have an animal that you've bred, maybe a horse or pig or something else like that, and you want to have all the vet records. You want to have everything in one spot. so that you can see everything that was done with that animal, and then you can make decisions based off of that. So the tool is as powerful as you want it to be in terms of the information. And as you add in more information and we add in more services such as the AI assistant and enhanced AI assistant, we can go ahead and help you keep track of all that information, make suggestions for that, and then also help you going forward in terms of your lineage, your bloodline, or whatever else you want to do in terms of making a better animal, adding to the gene pool, bettering the gene pool, also bettering the results of your breeding program. All right, with that being said, thank you so much. Appreciate you greatly.